I don't know.
You're
I
so
see this
silly.
countdown shit, but is we on?
We on.
We on.
I see
The
this little
camera's
red dot on
on.
my cam, so I think that we live and ready to go.
Yes, sir.
I'm at the office today, so now I feel important.
Okay.
You been important. What you mean?
Now I feel like somebody. I'm at the office today.
You been
Boy, go
important,
ahead.
King.
Hold on, let me change my name on here.
All my black kings
Joanna.
and queens important.
Joanna.
So you know how we start. Y'all know how we do. We ain't starting nothing until y'all start sharing and liking us.
Okay.
Share us, like us, share with your sisters and brothers. It's always a party.
Tap in.
We love a good mix. We love a good orgy. We love a good
Yeah.
all of that. So invite your friends to come and partake with us. Invite your sisters and your brothers and your mamas and your daddies and your uncles. Invite your gay family. Invite your house members. Invite your social circle. Invite them all. Don't be
Let me dim this light.
don't be selfish with us. We like to share.
There we go.
We like to share. Hey Twitter. Hey everybody on Twitter. How y'all doing? I do not. Forget about y'all. I apologize when I don't address y'all. But Twitter, I know that y'all are up in the house. Let me tell y'all something. So I was doing our views check and from Facebook to Twitter. Twitter, y'all go ham. Like we be having some really good views on Twitter every now and then, and like it's amazing. So
Which is awkward because you wouldn't think that that's the platform that most of the people would even be wanting to watch and hear stuff like
Child,
that.
Twitter popping.
Yeah,
That's dope. Go ahead.
I will give you the link to the YouTube later on. Let me get it pulled up for you, and I'll make sure I get that to you. So yeah, Twitter be popping. So I appreciate Twitter. I appreciate y'all. So I am going to start with the advertisings, I guess. It's a little awkward being at the office. I'm not at home. I like it. It's a little different. Like, I feel like I got to be business professional now. So y'all know what time it is. I have identified 4 people to do the virtual focus groups. And so right now I'm focused on the age 25 to 30. If you are 25 and under 30, in between that age range, please contact us. I'm trying to get this done by Tuesday of next week. So I've already got 4 people. Again, it's $100. These 4 people finna get $100 just to sit and talk with me, and I'm easy to talk to. So it ain't like they doing anything strenuous. We just have a conversation. So they finna sit and have a conversation and make $100 right off the bat. That's literally. I mean, let me break that down hourly because the conversation is typically 2 hours long. So that's $50 an hour that they just made. If you want to be if you want to be technical, not to mention, I'm also as you talk to me, I'm going to introduce you to other studies that we got going on, or surveys that you can end to make money. So I have one study that if you add all of them together, you have a chance to make up to like $1,000 just by doing the study. So it's up to you. Make this much money to be made out here, so you make it. So again, I got 4 people already ready to make this good old $100. So I'm waiting on the others. So it's whatever. So the group is not to get you to try to be on prep. It's more so to kind of have a conversation about what our community think about prep. So again, I'm not forcing you. I'm not selling prep to you at all. It is a it is a discussion. I'm probably not going to be doing most of the talking. It's going to be you guys doing most of the talking. It is a group led discussion. So with that being said, join us, have a conversation, and come make this money. So we got the focus groups, and we also still doing the IDIs. As of right now, the first leg is closed, meaning that first leg was people who are on prep. I wanted to know your journey. I wanted to know, what was successful about you being on prep. So we have officially closed that portion out. Now I'm looking for people who have taken prep before in the past. So if you have swallowed a prep pill before and was prescribed, I may add, and have swallowed a prep pill before, you qualify. What that looks like is I want to see why you stop. Again, I'm not trying to convince you to. I'm not trying to convince you to get back on it. I just want to know why you stopped. What was your mindset? What happened? What was the journey? What was the journey like for you? And you still had a chance to make some money. Just to tell me your story. I just want to hear your stories. So just tell. So you making me making money, telling me your story, and that's pretty much it. I want to give a shout out to Crew.
You?
Delay crew.
Yeah, I know what I mean.
Crew stands for Community Resources and Empowerment and Wellness. We do have a crew expert. We have a crew employee on staff and on the live with us.
That be me.
Um, and that'll and he'll introduce himself in a second. So if you have any questions about that, you contact him. He'll get you right. Um, and that's about it. We about to get started on our topic. Our topic today is
Open your damn mouth.
Open your damn mouth.
Okay.
Like, come on now.
That's our topic.
Open it up. Stop playing. Let me stop playing.
Open up sesame.
That's our topic.
What I mean?
Open your damn mouth.
Open your
Open
mouth.
your damn mouth.
Oh, okay. So let's get this chopping board chopping.
So today we're going to be talking about opening your mouth and just talking about how you can vocalize what you need, what you want, and how you go about it, and what steps you need to take to do it. So first, I want to talk about opening your mouth about your own care. How do you ask for help when as it relates to your health or your mental health? What guards you have to let down? Is there a certain level of vulnerability that you need to reach in order to ask somebody to assist you in your mental health care? Johnny, what do you feel?
I know for me, it is extremely hard for me to ask for help.
Mm-hmm.
I it's a two-part. I think it's two parts for me. For me, I never want to show weakness to anybody. I never want to show vulnerability to anybody because I'm always holding things on my shoulder for other people, and I want to continue to be that beacon for other people. So I don't want my vulnerability or my spot of weakness affect how you come to me and need help from me. I don't want that to be the factor that turns anybody away from asking me for help. So sometimes it is hard for me to show that, and it ain't like me being prideful. It's more so I just don't want to deter nobody from ever coming to me and making sure that they need help from me, because they think I'm going through my own shit or am I going through my own thing. No. It is why it is extremely hard for me to ask for help. And I'm very private about my life. It's very few people that I let in and talk to about things that go on. I'm not a Facebook whore, and I hate to say that's not nice, but
it's not your diary.
But no, that's not my diary. And so, I think sometimes it's hard for people to get those signals from me. That I need help. Because I don't really have a lot of I don't really have a lot of people don't have a lot of exposure to me to get those signals. So it is extremely hard. It is extremely hard for me to ask for help. I have to be. I remember one time. It's a funny story. Like I was sick. Like last year. It was Gay Pride, Black Gay Pride last year. I was sick as a dog, and I very similar to a story that Shawn told me just recently, actually. But I was sick as a dog. I had stomach issues. I was throwing up. I was doodling at the same time. It was mess and things like that. And I couldn't even walk. I couldn't even walk from my bed to my bathroom without, feel like I'm about to pass out. And I had asked somebody for something. It wasn't really for help. I just needed like the tissue to be passed to me or something like that. The reaction that I got, no. So it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and he didn't say no. The reaction that I got deterred me from asking anything else of you. Like
right.
It was like, so it just pissed me off. So, I knew that I needed to go to the hospital. And I was stuck in a hard place in regards to what I want to do. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I wanted to call my mom, but I'm like, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. So I drove myself to the hospital. I don't know how I made it. I know I for sure I stopped twice before I got to the hospital. I drove myself to the hospital, got to the hospital, um, parked my car, and literally I'm a damn near crawled got to the door. They was about to take my blood pressure, and I literally passed out, collapsed. And of course they was like, "Oh my God, and you drove yourself here." I can't believe whatever you drove yourself here. Um, um, I think that I was definitely dehydrated. It was hard for them to find any veins in me because I was so dehydrated. Um, my sugar was low. My blood pressure was low and everything like that. It was extremely low. Um, and so when they finally admitted me to the hospital, I got admitted immediately. Um, I think I was like out for like 2 days before anybody knew where I was. I was asleep for 2 days before anybody knew where I was. Um, and that wasn't done on purpose. But even still, when I go to the hospital, I don't really make a big fuss. So when I finally came to when I finally came to, 2 days later, I had been literally been passed out for 2 days. They had kept it was giving me like stuff to kind of help me, help with the pain and things like that. So it just took me out. But for those 2 days, I woke up the next 2 days, and I remember looking at my phone, because of course it's dead, so I'm plugging it up. One thing that we will do as millennials to make sure that wherever we go, we have a charger somewhere, right? So I plugged up my phone to turn my phone on, um, and and even my job didn't even know where I was. Like I was just out of work. They didn't even know. So the 2 days, and that was Sunday and Monday. So by Tuesday is when I came to. So Tuesday, I turned my phone on and I'm seeing like, oh my God, what's going on? You haven't heard from you, things like that. And even still, then I didn't want to tell them in the hospital because I didn't want the attention. Like I'm fine, like I'd be okay, whatever, like that. But I end up telling like my supervisor where I was, so that of course, I didn't want to lose my job and things like that. But that kind, and my supervisor is very, know when to keep a secret, so I wasn't worried about that. But then I had to tell my partner and things like that. I had to tell this, I had to tell that. And I didn't want that to take place. I didn't. Then my mother, my partner told my mother and things like that. So it just became this big spectacle of like, you don't ask somebody for help. Why didn't you call me? About the bar and things like that. I'm like, I hear y'all, but I didn't want to disturb nobody. I didn't want to be a burden to nobody. Like I'm fine. So, but that is my horror story with me not asking for help. I didn't mean to take up 10 minutes, but it happened like that.
What about you, Shawn?
So I'm kind of on the same line of Johnny. It's really hard for me to ask for help. My pride gets in the way of me asking for help a lot of times, and it has a lot to do with the way that I kind of grew up. So I was basically in a situation where when I was with my biological family, um, I would hear no. I'm not gonna say I always heard no, but I would hear no enough for me to the point where when I did want to go ask for help, it kind of was like, if I'm gonna hear the word no, or you can't help me, or like it's gonna piss me off and make me mad. So I'd rather not even put myself in that situation. I'd rather just try to do it myself. Now, being that it's been situations where I've been on my like last leg, and it's like I really did need to call somebody and ask for help, but it got to a point where I didn't know who I could call and ask for help from. Like, who am I? Every time I ask such and such for help, oh, they ain't got it. Or I asked them at a bad time. Or it's always it seems like it's always an excuse, but it's the reality of the situation. I can't control people, in their life and what they got going on. So I rather just, if I'm dealing with something health wise now, I'll tell my best friend. I'll tell one of y'all, my coworkers, or somebody. I'm saying something's going on with me. This rather than, it's weird because I would not even call a family member first. I won't call my. I don't want to stress no family member out and have them all like worked up about me and my health. So I'd rather call like my best friend who's real close to me, or somebody just that's in my circle, somebody that's close around me. I'm gonna tell them first, and then my family will find out. And that's been a problem too. So I mean, I'm
Mhm.
working on that, y'all. I'm not perfect.
Lord. I don't have a problem asking for help. I have a problem waiting till the last fucking minute. Like I wait till
The very
the
last.
very last minute to be like, "Can you help me?" And they be like, "If you would have came sooner, we could have had this worked this out faster." But no, I wait till the last minute because I like to see if I could exhaust all my self options. Like if I could do everything by myself first, and then when I realize I can't, and
Right.
it's about to hit the fan, then I ask for help. When I'm in trouble or like in a crisis or something, the first person I contact is either my mother, because if she's the last to find out, she'll never live it down. So yeah, so I tell her first, and she has good solutions to the problems. But you know, I wouldn't. So you guys say you go to like friend. You say you go to a friend first. I'll go to my family first, and I think I'll go to my friends last, because I feel like with my immediate family, there's no judgment there. You know. So I feel
Yeah.
like I could go to my immediate family first, and then I'll let my friends happen. But then my friends be like, "Bitch, why you didn't say nothing?" I'm like, "Cause
Yeah.
it was too hard. It was
Yeah.
just.
Right.
It's not embarrassing, but it's just.
It's embarrassing for me. That is one thing, and
Yeah.
that's one thing that I think about too. It's embarrassing. I don't want nobody to feel like they have.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want nobody to feel like they have a one up on me or something.
Mm-hmm.
Understood.
I don't like. I don't like olden people. I don't like owing people anything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like stuff like that. And one thing is that I know that sometimes when you ask for help, and I know Bryce, you may have experiences because you asked your mom for help.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, I don't like telling. I don't want to tell the full story. Like I don't want to. I don't want you. I don't want you to get all of my. I don't want to get
Right.
all of my business.
Yes.
Right.
All the unimportant. I need $5. You have it or not.
Right.
Like
That's
I
it.
don't like.
That's it. You got the $40 or not. That's
I'm
it.
like it's either yes. Or no.
Right.
I don't feel
For
like telling my
real.
whole story.
For real. Oh my God. I gotta give you the ins and outs just for you to help me.
Yes.
And then you probably
Yes.
still tell me no after I tell you everything. I'm like,
So now
no.
you know. So now you know my whole damn business.
And
And
you
you gonna
still
tell me
told
no.
me no,
I
girl.
don't like nothing about it.
I'm
Nope.
like, we talk about it later. I need this now, right now.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Well, since we talk about asking help for ourselves, what about when you're in a situation where you see somebody that you know needs help, but they won't ask for it, but you care about them? So do you extend your help anyway, or do you just sit back and wait for them to ask you, "Hey, I need help"?
In my personal life, um, I will wait for them to ask. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it'd be only because I know how I am, and I don't want to cross any boundaries with that person. I don't want them to feel like because it's a catch-22. I mean, like that. Like sometimes it can be like, oh, you think I can do it for myself? Like, oh, I'm not. Things like that. Especially if they didn't ask for it,
Mm-hmm.
and so you kind of run into like that whole aspect of it. Um, but in my work life, I'm completely different. I think you have to be because we're caseworkers. So
Yep.
you have to be able to identify when somebody needs help or watch out for those signals and things
Right.
like that. Um, and so it's different for me. As far as work and personal.
Mm-hmm.
I like the
I
way you
w-
broke that down, Johnny, because I really didn't think of
mhm.
it like on a personal and work level for me. Only because I'm pretty much like I'm the same with both. Like I'm willing to extend help if like it depends on the situation. First of all, let me just be clear on
Mhm.
that. It depends on the situation. But if I know you like, let's say
Because
for
people
instance,
have you in
just
some
something
crazy
simple like
situations.
yeah, like if I know you busy, Johnny, at work and Bryce busy, y'all handling intakes or something like that. Somebody come in to do testing. Okay, let me help out. Let me try to do something. Even if I get finished with the testing before, let me try to figure out something. I might ask, or instead of
Mm-hmm.
either just do it. Sometimes people get offended when you ask them stuff like, "Okay, you trying to be funny," like, or what you feel like I need help? Like I got this. So it's just like Johnny said, it's a catch-22 because it's weird. Like
Mm-hmm.
you don't so you it's the rapport you built with that person or that situation.
Right.
Because if you're not too comfortable in it, don't go asking, don't go offering, because
Right.
you can really put somebody away. People rebel against that. So,
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and then remember, this is all opinion based too. So
oh yeah,
like,
yeah,
there are people that you have to you're gonna listen. You're gonna really have to look out for those signals. In
right,
regard, and offer the help because some people
absolutely,
are gonna need the help and they're gonna be um flashing the lights but would never say it.
Mm-hmm.
And gonna expect you to come out to it. I
right,
think that comes out in relationships. In regards to like your partner, things like that. Like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we have a lot of pride when asking for something. I think I have a weird dynamic in my relationship as it relates to stuff like that as well. Like I don't like to ask for anything, and that's across the board. And he always say things to me like, you never need me, like, you never need, like, he wants me to need him and things like that. And I've not built nor wired that way to rely or depend on anybody for anything. So when I don't ask for nothing from him, I think that it kind of like how
Mm-hmm.
important am I to you if you can't rely on me for anything? And it's not that I
Right.
can't rely on you for anything, it's just that I've been doing it for myself for so long,
Mhm.
and I've built up a way to go get what I need for myself. So I just, but yeah,
Mm-hmm. I don't extend that. I wait for somebody to come ask me for help. I learned that extending your help to somebody, it could backfire because it could hurt their pride. It could hurt, like, make them feel like, oh, I can't handle my shit or I ain't got my shit together. But then also, I've been in situations to where people will suffer in silence and
yeah,
somebody else will tell me what they're going through, but I can't do nothing about it because I'm not supposed to know
yeah.
what they're
I've
going.
I've seen that too. Yeah,
So it's like I know what you're going through and I want to help you, but it's like you're not telling me, so I'm not supposed to know.
right.
And that also hurts too, especially when you feel like you're close enough to a person. You feel like you built a relationship that's strong enough for them to come to you about certain stuff like that, and then they
Mhm.
don't. So it kind of, for me personally, it makes me feel like, well, dang, what type of energy did I give out to you to make you feel like you couldn't come and tell
Exactly.
me that?
Exactly.
Like, what did I show you to make you feel like, oh, I can't, you can't come and say that to me? But dang,
That's a
Um,
shame.
it is. Yeah, 'cause it's like,
I want to say back in 2011, I
mm-hmm.
had I was in a situation with roommates, and we stayed in an apartment complex that towed cars.
Oh,
Um,
I hated that.
yeah,
I
that
did with
towed.
that in college.
So they would typically always have guests over. Oh, I'm not gonna say they, I'm gonna say we. Because some of these friends were like, how like you like they're their friends first, but because y'all roommates, y'all kind of all kind of
Mm-hmm.
hanging out, things like that. So it kind of became that situation. But I still didn't know these people that well. But um, so at the time frame, it was kind of they're new to me. I don't really know them that well. I'm getting to know them, but they're not considered my friend yet.
Right.
So they came over and their car got towed in the neighborhood, and I can see her trying to like figure out how she's going to get the money to pay to pay things like that, and calling people, calling around, and I saw it. So she didn't ask for help, um, but I realized that she didn't have the money, and people need their cars, right? So I went ahead and extended, I pay for it, don't worry about it, and things like that. And, and you can just pay me back whenever you can, and things like that. Mind you, this is not my friend. I don't know this person that well. Matter of fact, I think I probably had knew this person for about 3 weeks. I just was my friend. She was cool though. She was a cool girl. So here's how this backfired on me. So I want to say 6 months later, one of my roommates got mad at I don't know if it was at me or at her, one of the other, and was like, "Oh, she didn't even use your money for her car. She used her money and went and got her nails done. So God paid for her car to get blah." And um, and I was like, "But you, my roommate, and you, my brother, and you telling me this? You've been holding this information for this long? Like, and I'm not gonna say it backfired because my help that I don't need any like um you know acknowledgement or any type of oh thank you for I don't care about all of that stuff. I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you whether you choose to do what you want to do with it. That's on you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you out of the generosity of my heart, and that's just
Right.
that.
Mm-hmm.
So even when he told me that, so I'm not going to say it backfired because that's because it didn't backfire, because when he told me that, I just said, oh, okay, you know that's fine. You know what I'm saying? And but I thought about that story because I remember, like, I knew that she didn't ask for help, and maybe she had already secured the money. I just didn't know, and she still took you. I don't know what the
Yeah.
thing is, but that happened to me, and I remember that. Um,
She's like, oh, thank you.
oh, thank you. Right,
Okay. I appreciate that.
right.
That's not
I'm
funny.
weak. I am too weak.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
I want to hop on something else with that story too, though. Like,
Mhm.
what about like so? I've I stopped experiencing this like later on in my life once I realized that I can't do it. One of the things that like when somebody asks for help, and this is just help in regards to when it's invading in my space.
Mm.
Um, I think one of the things that I kind of I allude to my friends when we first meet, when we're getting close, like don't ever ask to come stay with me because that's going to be an automatic no. You know, not because I can't. You know, it's nothing personal and things like that. But I'm not going to allow my space to be invaded by any other energy, by any other vibe, any other. I can't do that. And so I just don't allow my friends to come. I don't do roommate situations, and I don't allow my friends to come stay with me. And that's just to protect me. And I have been shitted on a couple of times before with that, and things like that. But I had to get to a place to realize that I can help in I can help in every other way possible, but I just can't do that. That's just something that I
Mhm.
just can't do. And like and just to be very candid, if we ain't fucking, I'm
We ain't
no,
living together.
I'm sorry. You can't if you ain't fucking, you can't come spend a week. Now you gonna give me something for some. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. I'm being completely real, 100% with
Well,
y'all.
everybody
Right?
got to earn their keep. So
You got to earn your keep, and that's just
You got
that.
to do what you got to do.
see, I
So
have my best friend. She offered us to live together, be roommates, but I didn't want to do that because I didn't want to be like if we ever fall out that we're not gonna talk to each other again because we live together. You know what I mean? Like I want to protect our friendship is more important to me than us living together. So when she asked us like, "Oh, let's get an apartment together," and I said no, I could see that kind of hurt her because she wasn't thinking like that. But I've seen people live with their best friend and then like
yes,
they not friends no more.
not friends anymore. I have a brother. I have a blood brother that came up that was from Shelby that came up to live with me and my current roommate, which is how I got three roommates. And things like that. And I don't talk about him often, but I have a blood brother that came and stayed and lived and stayed with us for about a month, and then we ended up getting a 3 bedroom apartment. So that we was able to accommodate all three of us or whatever. And we stayed together for a year, and to this day, I do not talk to none of them. Like we don't communicate. We're not friends. I don't because, like you said, it completely ruined our relationship. I can't look at them the same way at all. It completely ruined the whole situation. So that's why from that situation, I've learned that I can't do it. And my friendship or my relationship with somebody with you I value that a lot more than us
Mhm.
trying to cohabitate and do that, and me trying to
Right. Right.
help out, and I end up resenting you or hating you when you
Mm-hmm.
leave. It ain't worth that. So no.
That's true. That is true.
Um,
Okay, for you.
y'all have anything to add to that at all before we move on?
No, that
No.
was good to me.
Well,
I'm in agreement with all of that. That just made me feel real good.
yes. Well, I want to take it back to our childhood, and I want to talk about asking your parents for help via it would be assistance or something, or guidance, or just like a life lessons. So you feel comfortable going to your parents and asking them when you were in this when you were in the situation, how did you handle it? How did you go about it? Or are you not comfortable with your parents enough to actually go to them and ask them those certain life lessons?
So mine is a little different because of I wasn't raised with my parents. My mom didn't raise me. My aunt actually raised me. Thank God for her. I still love her. But I grown up with her asking her for stuff. I know she did everything in her power to make sure that I had everything that I wanted. Whether I pouted about it, whether you know what I'm saying, I would do little stupid stuff like not talk to nobody in the house, and she knew something was wrong, so I knew it would make her ask me what's wrong, so therefore I can tell her what's wrong and get my way.
Right.
Um, but growing up, so when my aunt decided to kick me out because of my sexuality, and I went into group homes and foster care. Um, it was a different change in hearing no, 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 and then these people that barely even know you are giving you like the freaking world so quickly that I mean, literally everything you asking for, you getting. Um, but it was that within itself. Now that I'm older and I'm going to be 32 next month, you guys. But now that I'm older, I realized it was a lesson within itself because knowing that I can go to somebody and ask them for help and I may get a yes, and still I may go to somebody and ask them for help and I still may get a no. Now I know it's like it pushed me to make me want to do stuff for myself now. Like I'd rather not ask. I'd rather just try to at least do it on my own first before I go to anybody else. But even asking my parents, my mom now, for example, a recent situation, I needed her help with this car situation. And I just knew I was gonna hear yes, y'all. I did. I just knew I'd call my mom on the phone and she was going to be like, yes, baby, I got you. You know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, I'm good. I'm telling the man in front of me, like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You can go ahead and sign that little piece right there. Because my mom about to say, yeah, like, it's on. I called my mom and she was like, no. I was like, the only reaction I knew to do, y'all, and do not do this to y'all mama, and it was rude for me to do, but I just hung up on her. Like, I didn't know what I did. I hung up on my mama, y'all. I did because I didn't know what to say because she told me no. And I really needed her right then and there to get I signed a signature away from getting the car that I basically wanted. So, I mean, asking your parents for help, like I said, my story is a little bit different. I didn't really have parents to really ask like that, but my parents, I did. My aunt and my foster parents, it was a difference between asking them to, because I knew some ways I could get my way, some ways I couldn't, and in some ways you didn't really have to ask for it, you just got it. So.
Yep, that's true. I come from a household where my parents give unsolicited advice. So my mom will see you struggling and she won't say nothing. She's like, I ain't gonna say nothing. Just sit back. And she'll be like, no, this is what you need to do. You need to do that. And my father, he would get you alone and then he'll tell you what to do and how to go about it. But see, the thing is, when I ask my parents for certain advice, they don't have the answers. But then out of nowhere, they be giving me unsolicited advice, and I'm like, why the fuck you telling me this? But then as I'm getting older, it makes sense, and I'm like, oh damn. She was right. My mother was right. Oh, my father was right. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm hard headed. I get in my own way. I'm stubborn. You could tell me how it's gonna play out, and I'm still gonna be like, okay, bitch, I'm still gonna go through it, and then it play out how you tell me, and I come back and I be like,
crying and all over it. You're over.
You was right. Oh, you was right.
You was right.
You was right. Now come help me get out of
it. That.
Come help me get out of it. Hey, Patrice.
Hi.
But
where y'all at in the conversation?
Actually, yeah.
But no, I definitely don't have a problem going to my mother for advice. I don't have a problem going to my father for advice too. But if I was to ask my parents for something, I would go to my mother first and my father last.
It's that mama.
Because my father's gonna do it, but he's gonna make you work for it. So,
no shame. And mom be like, okay, listen, she got that little bit of that little that you my baby.
My dad's like, I'm gonna help you.
And go through this now.
Yeah, my dad, he be like, I'm gonna help you, but I'm like, little boy.
Thanks.
I ain't trying to do all of that. Just give me the loot.
So I'm gonna answer this, and I'm gonna try to put it to tie to what we already talked about. So first, I would not go to my parents and ask them for help. My mother literally beats me in the head every single time. Why didn't you come to me, or things like that? Or why don't you don't ever ask for nothing? You don't never things like that. And there was this one time that I think I was like maybe 18, and I was going through something financially. No, I wasn't 18. I'm lying. I was like 19, 20. And there was a whole dude staying with me. Like my partner at that time, that was my partner. That was my boyfriend. right? And I needed, like, I was in between jobs, and things like that. I, like, money was like thin, things like that. I didn't have at that time frame. Um, that month, I just didn't have the money to pay my rent. And things like that. I just didn't have it. And I went to her in the middle of the month, but I was talking to her. I wasn't asking for anything. I was just talking to her about something, and I was
Right.
so embarrassed because I have a whole live. I want to say this word so bad, but I know I'm not. I can't say it. I know what I'm talking about. But I had a
Mm-hmm.
whole live dude
In my house.
in my house living with me, and I'm calling him my partner, and and I'm supposed, and things like that. He don't have no job, things like that. He not helping me with anything like that. I'm literally holding this thing, but I'm holding it down by myself. And this month, I was short. I couldn't do it. I was not able to do it. Things like that. So I'm just trying to, going down, resource lane, going through my resources. Like I went to I'm pulling out my black book inside of my closet, make to see if I can turn some tricks or something. I'm doing whatever I can do to see if I can get this money and whatever. And so I was talking to my mom about something. I think it just came up in conversation. I think it just came up in conversation. And she came to my house and we was out in the parking lot. And she said to me, and I couldn't even, I didn't even, I almost wanted to choke her for even offering this, but she was willing to go into her 401k to help me pay my rent. She's willing to get penalized for a 401k to take money out of her 401k for me to just to pay my rent for that month. And like I cried like a fucking baby. Like, don't do that. I'm a man out here. I promise you, I'm gonna make it. I don't need you to do anything like that for me. Like, I'm good. Like, I'm fine. And I remember that moment because I remember how I really desperately needed, but I would not. I was not going to allow her to do that for me. Things like that. I knew I was going to be able to find another way. And I remember that we both was like in the parking lot crying, like, you're my son, like I'm here to help you. That's what I'm supposed to do. Things like that. I'm just like, no, I'm good. I'll find another way. Don't worry about it. Things like that. And I think from there on out, my mother has always knew, or have always respected the fact that I can, like, I want to do everything on my own. Like, she respected my manhood, and like, so she may say things like, jokingly, "You never ask for nothing, about the blah," but she know I wouldn't never come to her to ask for anything, things
Right.
like that. Um, and she don't offer, and she no longer offers stuff like that to me, because I think it is a some way offensive to me, and not offensive in like she disrespected me or anything like that, but it just, I don't ever want my manhood to be questioned, and things like that. And I know you're my mother, and I know we family, and I know we blood and things like that, but you know I'm my how you raised me, and how we was raised, and how I watch things growing up. Like, the man's supposed to take care of the household, and I've never seen that before in my life, and I want to make sure that I elude that in my life, and things like that. So no, I've never seen it. I've never seen a man successfully take, like, be the head of a household in this real life. Um, I've never seen that before in my life, so I've always wanted to make sure that I did that for me in my household. Um, and which is why I think I was comfortable with letting a dude stay with me and not work and things like that. I was comfortable being daddy at the age of 19 and 20. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, and so I'm actually, this is therapy, y'all, because I'm actually going back and I'm thinking about this stuff. But but I think that I've always kind of been in I've always been comfortable taking care of somebody, because of how I wanted my life to be, to be how I wanted my life to shape out, how I wanted to make sure that, I am the provider of my household. I am the provider of, I've always wanted to make sure that I had that set, and I've had that title, and things like that. And that's surface. It definitely goes deeper than that. But that was important for me. That was important to me. So I don't like asking my mother for help. I wouldn't do it. Things like that. But I know that without a shadow of a doubt, she would be there. And I know, and I see it and experience it through my little sister. My little sister is spoiled as hell, and she have no problem with asking for $200 with a handout.
Okay.
So yeah.
Pat Rice, do you ask your parents for advice or assistance?
I don't ask them for advice. I'm just not comfortable with that conversation. When I wanted to learn about sex, I went to a library and checked out a book. I hate to ask my parents for money, and I will not do it unless it's a very dire situation. And because I was always raised to be extremely independent. So if I have to ask for money, they already know it's something fucked up. And I don't do it. I might have done it maybe twice in the last 20 years, maybe.
Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
And I put it's a comment up right now. I've never seen it either, but I damn sure feel the same way. I ain't ever asked for nothing. When I'm thinking he's saying when what he has never seen, and I know this person, so I know I can speak to this. He's also saying that he's never seen a man secure and actually be the sole provider of that household. That's actually my little cousin. So we've had conversations like that amongst ourselves about that and how how it is important from our generation that me and him are in to make sure that we do that and secure that and make that happen. So that's what he was talking about, just to kind of give y'all point of
Mm-hmm.
context.
Yeah, I want to bring this up since you brought having a dude live up in your house not paying no bills. My current partner told me that in his last relationship, he quit his job and his partner took care of him for a year. But I had to make it very clear for him that that's just not happening over here because I ain't taking care of no man. The only man I'm raising is my son. So I don't. I was like, you know what I mean? I'm. I hate to be this. I hate to be this person. I'm used to being taken care of. I don't. You know what I
The
mean? Like,
worst.
I. The way I take.
The worst.
Yeah, the way I take care is.
Megan the Stallion, go sit back down.
Yes, the way I take care is being affectionate, being patient, being calm, being nice to you. But if you come home talking about, say, yeah, I quit my job, don't come home.
Bryce.
So
If you
Oh
lost
my
your
God.
job, you could come home. But if you say I quit, you quit your job without finding another job, don't come home.
You...
Don't come
oh my
home.
God.
Don't come home.
I am weak, y'all. I'm sorry. Bryce said don't come home.
Don't
Don't
come
come
home.
home. Don't do it. Don't even set yourself up, partner.
and I just want to make sure that you're clear, Bryce,
Mm-hmm.
because there's a difference between you getting fired and being let go from a job.
Yeah, there's a
That's
difference.
different than that. Then
Yes.
you just telling me you just quitting because you it's just whatever.
You're like, yeah, I just don't want to do that no more. I quit. Oh,
Okay, well, you didn't want to do me that much, so.
yeah. Here's a loaf of bread.
Somebody said Bryce Curry 100%.
Okay. Okay. Don't come home. But also, since we talked about our friends.
Yeah, that's my nephew. He meant that.
Okay. Since we talked about our friends and our parents, let's take this to the bedroom. What happens if you in a situation to where your partner just ain't doing it right, ain't doing it well? How do you vocalize that to them without hurting their feelings, or how do you vocalize that at all? Do you even care about hurting their feelings, or do you just be like, look, boy, this ain't it. Come on, Patty, give it to me. What's up?
I mean, if that was the case, how did you even get into a relationship?
People change. People change. People tired.
Not like that.
I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that, and I'm gonna say this.
Mm-hmm.
So, say if it's an instinct where you and your spouse are together for a while, y'all have been together for a while, and I'm gonna take that what you said. They're not really doing it, like giving you what you need. I'm gonna say maybe you I'm gonna take that in the sense of like maybe you need to spark the sex up or whatever. Like you need to let them know like I want to try something new or. I'm feeling this type of way, and sometimes it's not. Some people aren't comfortable with talking about sex because I'm a very weird person. Like I don't like people talking nasty to me. Like
what?
I'm talking about, but in messages, like if we have not interacted with each other yet, don't breathe this hole and come nut on my face and stuff like that. Like I'm not into stuff like that. Like that, it just I feel some type of way. I feel some type of way.
Baby, let me tell you something. You ask me what am I trying to do? I'll let you know what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to, you know what? My mama watching it. Hey, mom. But I'm gonna let it be known what I want. So I'm not gonna just sit here and be silly with you, be simple with you. Like, oh, you know, when we get together, you're gonna find out. No, fuck that. I want to do X, Y, and Z. I want it done like this. You hosting or not? We're
Nah,
not doing it in my car because I got 10 seats. So what's up?
I'm just so done with you, yo. Oh my
You
god.
said is we fucking or not?
That's it. Life's too short.
Yeah, like come on, like
But that's what one night saying. We together. I'm very like. I'll come to you and be like, hey, DeMarcus, the way you told me last night, it was cool, but it kind of scared me low key. So how about we let the grip up some more because I felt like you took your anger out on me and it's kind of sexy, but I was scared. So you know what I mean? Let's pipe that down. You
I have,
know.
because sometimes I get a little freaky too, and
Mm-hmm.
so you brought up choke. So like
Yes.
sometimes my adrenaline start rushing, and I want to be choked, and I want to choke you, and my partner says no. I don't like that. We vocalize that. That's not something that I like. Or things like that. So I'm like, okay, well, I go choke somebody else. Don't worry about it. um,
Listen, my head hit that lamp one time. I had a knot on my forehead.
Go
My
ahead, hit
homegirl
the
was like, "I'm
lamp.
happy." That said, my head hit the lamp. She said, "How that happened?" I said, "Well, when you put your leg up on the desk and you hit me from the back, and then yeah, my head hit the
get
lamp."
him.
He bought me a new
Get
lamp
him
though.
right now. Get
He
him
bought me a
right
new lamp
now.
though.
Indeed, sir. Indeed.
But yeah, my head hit that lamp and it fell off the nightstand, and I was hurt because I liked that lamp, but it was worth it.
It was a lamp for you.
It was a lamp for me.
Oh my god.
That's
But
But
what
yeah, I
I
feel like
need
you
to
should just be able to be vocal about it. Like at the end of the day, just be able to just take what it is that you want. And like some people know how to handle it, some people don't. I feel
yeah,
like some
Mm-hmm.
people they don't know how to vocally say it. So some people, I know some people that just actually just do it. They'll try to do it. They'll
yeah,
act out on it instead of
yeah.
saying something about it. And then if
Yeah.
it's not reciprocated or
Yeah.
whatever, then
One time, my homegirl in Paris told me the dick was so wet, she got on the phone. She said her homegirl called her, she answered the phone. I said, "How you answer the phone?" She said, "Because I wasn't feeling nothing." And
Oh wow.
I was like,
I'm
"So why
weak.
did you just tell him to get off?" She was like, "Well, he was already there." And I said, "La Paris,
I'm weak.
I do
you
like
can't
that.
do that."
I do like that my partner is vocal about stuff like that though, and like vocal about like even if like there are times where we have been in a predicament where we're having sex and he wasn't feeling the sex, whether something was going through or vice versa. I maybe wasn't feeling it or things like that. The chemistry was off, and he's vocal about stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm vocal about stuff like that. I'm things like that. So
Mm-hmm.
we kind of I do like that. I do like that we have that type of conversation about our sex life.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Greg.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, do Patrice like getting choked?
Indeed.
And she says yes.
Thoroughly.
If you're doing some off the wall shit, I must shut the whole operation down. Because one time I seen on Twitter, old dude punched a girl in the back of the head, and I said, "Now if a nigga punched me in the back of my head."
I've seen it before too. Have y'all seen where somebody had when they was hitting it from behind and they put their whole feet on the head?
Yes.
Get your feet
Get
off
your
my
foot off my. You know what, DeMarcus? Get the fuck out. Don't get out. Don't come back.
It's supposed to be on your back of your neck, but yeah.
I have how's it how's that even comfortable? How's that even sexy? But
Clearly, you're not having the right kind of sex.
I
So
need help.
clearly, slavery's been over 300 years because you're not about to put your
Okay,
foot.
what we're not gonna do is
it's
right
about
there
the
to
whole.
slavery. We're not
The
doing
whole.
that. We're not doing that.
Y'all
We're not.
not putting your foot on the back of my neck. I'm sorry.
That's a booty hole, girl.
That's a whole no.
I'm weak.
Now I want to switch. I want to talk about using your charisma or your gift of gab to get what you want. Has there ever been a time when you had to use your? You ever had to flirt or like ever had to really sell yourself to get something that needed to be done?
Yes.
Well, let me tell you about my little story or whatever. So some of you may know, I used to be a stripper here in Charlotte. I
What?
used to dance. So I've always been good with talking to people. Like I don't just talking to random people and holding conversations has always just been my thing. But when you mix that with a little alcohol, sometimes when you're in the club, of course, you really get motor mouth and you just start talking and talking and talking.
Automatic.
But using my charisma, then just not even just it wasn't even my body. It was more so me just talking to the person and making them feel comfortable. Like, okay, dang, he look cute, but he know how to talk too. Like he's actually cool. It's not just his body. But talking was one of my charismas that I used to use, to sway and get my way back then when I was doing my daughters to do,
The last time I used my charisma is when I was getting my car and I was flirting with the finance guy heavy in front of my mother. And when he stepped out the room, my mother was like, "Damn, what y'all gonna do? Fuck on the table?" I said, "Look, girl, I just got $6,000 off this car."
It's Bryce for me.
The car note, everything's hitting, but the gap it was hitting right. I'm making sure this deal goes through.
Yes.
I was fighting with the man so hard. He said, "Son, right here, ma'am." So I said, "It's okay. It don't matter to me. I got look."
Bryce was
If I'm
sick
paying
of
for something, I'm gonna talk you down.
I can't with
I'll
you.
pay full price.
I can't.
Oh wow.
You feel me?
Right.
So you gotta use what you. And usually the times when I do that is when I'm either interviewing for like college or like interviewing for a job. I take my experiences and I really elaborate on my experiences to really sell myself to be like, this is why I'm suitable for the job and stuff like that. And for some people, it's hard for them to do that. Some people, it's hard for them to interview. But for me, the way I see it is like, if they like you, they like you. If they don't, they don't. And that's it. You just gotta take it one step at a time and just have fun with it.
Yeah.
I don't think that I know that I have a lot of charisma. I don't think that I use it enough to my advantage. I do know that I have used it. Sometimes I get nervous to use it because I've seen what it can do. But so no, I don't really use it like that. I just get nervous. But that gift for gab is a little different because I have a good talk game. I have a real good talk game. I can serve some shit on a platter and make it look good.
Saying to a blind man.
But
y'all good because I'm straight to the point. You buying it or not?
But yes. But as far as charisma, I do think that I could use a lot. I could use a lot more. Like I wish I would have took you to the dealership when I got my car. No. So or like when I'm talking to the it's just I don't know. You're right. I can definitely use it a lot more than when I have used it before.
Patrice.
I am not a fan of either. I hate interviews where they say, sell yourself to me. That always makes me get like really anxious. Not a fan. Mostly because I was very much a very antisocial person until I had a job where I had to be social. And that sucked ass until I learned how to do it. As far as talk game, I've been told that it's good. I don't really see it like that. I'm a little goofy and nerdy. So, but people like it. So, fuck it. Robert.
Oh, it was that Nissan dealership, Scott Clark on South Boulevard.
He played too much.
I got pre-approved for 21,000, and they was trying to make something call for 26, and I said no. And so they was like, okay, we'll give it to you for that. I said, because y'all ain't got shit, I'm going to Raquel Nissan. And they was like, fuck Raquel Nissan. And I said, yeah. I'm not.
Run me that.
Run me that.
Run me that.
This is the car I want. This is my price. Y'all ain't got it for me.
I'm mad about it.
And he ain't putting nothing down.
I ain't putting nothing down.
So
That's because you got that just out of college credit.
I do.
Exactly. That's what I said, Patrice.
I
Fuck
do.
you. Fuck you.
Right
No,
out of
that doesn't
college.
always work because some people they want the experience, they don't want the score. Because I went to go get a new phone, and AT&T want me to pay the phone. They want me to pay $1,100 for the phone because I didn't have 5 years worth of credit history, even though my credit score was really good. They was like, you still got to show credit history. So some places it's good, some places it's not.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which brings me to networking. I want to talk about how you communicate when you're networking, when you're trying to sell your business or when you're trying to tell people about what we do at Rain, and how do you go about it. I want to shout out Patrice because when we do outreach, Patrice is very good at having people come over to us and talk to us. I'm much more nervous when we do outreach than she is, and I really appreciate her because she knows how to make people come over to the table. So yes, that was for Miss Mava Patrice. She got the gift of gab. She says she don't, but she do. She know how to make the people come over.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Agree. So how would you go about networking, Johnny?
um, for me, networking, I'm always looking at opportunities for. I'm a businessman. First and foremost. And I say that I joke around. I say that, but I think that's I'm so serious about
Mhm.
how my mindset. So I'm always looking for opportunities to kind of develop myself, my team, and or Rain.
Mhm.
I'm always looking for ways that we can kind of get out there. And sometimes within networking, it's always about who you know, things like that. It's always about who you know. It's always about how you can kind of get through those cracks. It's all about who I can call and ask for a favor right quick, and things like that. It's always about that. People have their favorites. I don't care what they say. People have
Mhm.
and it's just or people have somebody that they gear to. I always want to be that person that people gear to. So it's very easy for somebody to give me their personal cell phone number so I can be like, oh, okay, I need this right quick. Things like, so I'm for me networking, it comes easy. Because and as it relates to my professional life, I am an opportunist. I want to be seen. I want to not say be seen. I mean in regards to like I want to make sure that you see me, you don't forget me, so that I can develop my program and programs, um, and um, so for me it's all about making sure that I'm continuing I'm always climbing that ladder.
Mhm.
Um, so that's what networking means to me, and I think that for me it comes easy. It wasn't always like that. I used to be shy. I used to be in a bubble. I used to be very nervous in regards to me sounding stupid to people that are that has a intellect that's higher than mine. Though the vocabulary may not be the same. Things like that. That used to make me nervous. Now I don't care. If it's a if I can learn from it, I can learn from it. I like talking to people. And what I've noticed in regards to networking as well is that I think when I start really dapping into like how I date older guys because I like to learn stuff. So I didn't understand that as a kid. But sometimes people have that as teenagers, right? People go through that phase of wanting to date
Mhm.
somebody older, things like that, or maybe not everybody. So I see different head, but a lot of my friends went through that stage of wanting to date older people, just for the sake of doing it. I've always been strategic about me dating somebody older because I always wanted to continuously be a sponge and learn something. So when I network, I'm not networking just to get to know you. I'm networking because I want if you have the opportunity to teach me something, I'm willing. I want to sponge off you as much as possible. Just to give you an example, we have a lady that worked here, who was she was Ryan White, administrative, and things like that. And when I met her, it was very much of an intimidating part. Like she intimidate. If you go to anybody and talk to anybody about it, they will tell you how intimidating that woman was to people and whatever. But when I met her, I was intimidated, but I wanted to like talk to this woman. I know that she'll get me where I needed to go. She'll introduce me to the right people. You know what I'm saying? She'll, get me where I need to go. And as far as to being able to move and sell my program and sell what I'm doing and sell what I can do to other people. I didn't need her to help sell it. I needed her to get me in front of the people that I needed to talk to and things like that. And I wanted to learn and I wanted to learn everything that she knew. I wanted to be as Ryan White competent as she was, like where it knows back of my hand. So I used to go in her office and I used to sit down and talk to that woman all day, every day. I hear conversations that she have with other people. Other people come into the office, and easy for her to introduce me. This is so and so, things like that. I'm here, cook in my car. How you doing? Things like that. Then we start going out. I start going out and talking to her social circle. And they all these elite people and Ryan White, and they all have their own businesses. They all have their own agencies, things like that. So I'm getting to know these people on a personal level, like and it meant so much for me that she allowed me to do that. And and I thank God that friendship or that relationship was as authentic as it was, because you can't naturally network and not still be authentic with it. I say that I'm an opportunist, but in my opportunities that I'm looking for, I'm still authentic with my relationship and things like that. I think that's important too. When you networking, like you can't go networking and be fake, because people recognize fake. And things like that. And they're gonna see that, and they're gonna not want to talk to you. But when you networking, if you're authentically yourself, but there's still a mission there. But that mission don't have to be the end all be all. That's the surface, because you have a chance to meet and get to know really good people and lifelong friends in this, not just in this field, but just in your in any field that you work in. And I know I went on a tangent. I apologize for that. Y'all know I'm
because
long.
you really just answered for everybody. We
You
talk
did.
about this. You literally
You
answered
did.
for everybody. Everything. I was like, yeah. When he said mine, he was like authentic. I was like, dang, I was gonna say that. Like,
Y'all know
dang, Danny. But if I could say, if I could branch off a little bit on the authentic side with Johnny, I definitely can agree with him on that, because I feel like a lot of times if you're not really, and you know what, I'll say this. Even sometimes with you being authentic is not even good enough, because some people aren't receptive to it. They're so used to a certain type of person or a certain atmosphere that when they get around someone that's being authentic or being themselves, they don't know how to conduct themselves because they're not used to it. I know a lot of times with me, I tell people all the time, like when I'm getting to know somebody or I'm trying to make friends or anybody because I'm a people's person. I like to talk to people. Everybody likes Buddha. And if they don't like Buddha, it's over some stupid stuff that they don't fabricate it in their head and made up, because I like to get along with everybody. So when it comes to networking with the job and everything of that sort, when it comes with me, it's a little harder, because I have to get people to really confide in me and really trust in me outside of how they know me and what they perceive me to be when I'm out in public. Because I'm a goofy, funny person. I like having fun. And yes, I talk shit. You know what I'm saying? I like to have fun just like everybody else. I'm a human being. But when it comes to work, I put a different ball head on. It's not that I'm different. I'm just more like, okay, now, I can't be doing all the cursing. I can't be doing all the riffraff that we be doing in the voguing and the dipping in public. And I can't be doing all that, what I'm saying, outside of work. Even with me being at work, I like to be myself. Y'all know how I'm very big on being myself at work. Just like, Patrice, my girl Patricia asked me, what I'm saying, some days, like, what I'm saying, what you today? You Buddha, you Shawn. Like, you
right.
let me know what's up. It's how I'm feeling that day. It depends on what I'm giving. I can give a little boy, I might give a little cut, but just being able to network with different people and different programs outside of Reign myself. I've been granted with opportunities of being on the news and just by working for this company alone, the spotlight that has been on me since I've been working for Reign has been impeccable. Like a lot of people know me outside of this, and it gags me because I don't see what everybody else see. I don't see the impact that I know I'm trying to make an impact, and I'm trying to network and make different different bonds and rapport with people, but I don't see it sometimes. So sometimes I don't that confidence in me sometimes gets a little weary, but then I get drawn back because I start to see it. how I'm networking, how I put a little seed out, and it may just been this live right here, and somebody's seen it and they like, I like him, he cool. Like let me double hit the inbox and see what's going on. Let me see what kind of services he can offer. So
I'm definitely shy. I'm afraid that I would say the wrong thing. So I kind of like approach it slow, and I feel like there are times when I do want to put myself out there, but then then I feel like it gets shot down. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna do that no more. So it's like I'm not too afraid to say what I do for a living or what Rain offers, but also I really had to teach myself when we go into trainings how to force myself to branch off from you guys and to go talk to other people at other agencies, a network, and get to know them and hear about what they do and how they've been doing their career, whether it's in HIV or human services or substance abuse, and see how they navigate it and what their agency has to offer, if they work for a nonprofit or not, and like how they navigate that. So I'm teaching myself to force myself to go out and start conversation with other people.
And I think, and I would definitely want to hear Patrice, but I think that as young Black individuals, as young Black professionals, I think that like there's sometimes that we miss an opportunity for ourselves and things like that. Because a lot of times we get into a place or career, and we want to be the best that we can be, and things like that, and so we're caught on, and we're doing our job. We're doing that. That phrase that I hear a lot. I'm gonna go to work. I'm gonna do what I got to do, and I'm gonna leave. Well, I'm gonna go to work. I'm gonna clock in. I'm doing what I got to do, and I'm leaving. I don't got time for. I don't got time for that. But it is like it's so important to network because even not even in the HIV field, but like when I was working at Avid Exchange, in accounting and things like that job, it was all about networking and who you know to get promoted. Like it wasn't just about you had to be into like they had a whole bunch of like social events that you did throughout throughout work and things like that, or like you get opportunity to go sit and talk with the CEO of the company. Like it was always about networking. Like it was always like we all worked in the same building, even the CEO and things like that. So one day you could be in the elevator and be talking and be talking to him. So being able to kind of not be intimidated, when you see those people and talk, get them to know your name and things like that. But I also wanted to let y'all know this. Let me say this because I am not like I like when I said something about networking and things like that, and I talk about authenticity. Like one of the things, like even as like a supervisor myself, like these people see me walk into my office and carry a Crown Royal bag as my man bag. Like I do not like shoot the shit with anybody. Like I'm going to be me regardless. I have a little ghetto in me every time. And guess what? I take this Crown Warrior bag to Ryan White administration meetings. I take this Crown Warrior bag to board meetings if I'm invited. Like this is it's part of me, and I'm not ashamed of this bag. You know what I'm saying? So like again, like I'm.
That's your bag, baby.
It's my bag. I'm not
That's your
ashamed
bag.
That's his bag.
That's your bag.
Things like that, and so like, I had a friend one day tell me something. You swear you professional, but you carry that Crown Warrior bag. It has nothing to do with my professionalism. This is my bag, and I love this bag. And it's the conversation starter because everybody always asks me, "You have some Crown Warrior in it?" No, but how you doing? My name is Johnny. You know what I'm saying? Like it's everything.
Dude, maybe Crown Warrior sponsor. You hating?
Right? Go ahead, Patrice.
I'm not necessarily good at networking. I'm in a sorority and I don't even fuck with my sorority sisters like that because I don't like the pomp and circumstance that goes with it. Them expecting you to be a specific type of mold and person. And I already know that I'm not that. I didn't join the organization to live up to somebody else's expectations. I joined it for the community service. So I don't really even care what the fuck y'all talking about. I don't understand the politics, the how you not fucking with somebody that's I don't get it. It's too much. Professionally, I think that Rain has been different with networking than corporate. I worked in corporate for a very long time, and I worked in large corporate offices, Allstate, GE, where networking is not really going to get you anywhere. Not as a female. You're going to hit that ceiling real fast. It doesn't matter how hard you work. It doesn't matter how good your work ethic is. It doesn't really matter what you're doing. In order to move ahead, there was so much ass kissing involved, which I just can't do it. I just can't. And so I have a mixed bag of emotions when it comes to networking. I'm getting better at range, just learning how to being able to have an invested conversation with someone instead of just I'm just shooting the shit conversation. Because I have a thing where I need to feel people out first. So
Right.
Also, I'm talking about how to have a poker face because if I don't like something, you can tell by my face I don't like it. And that's not good.
Let me not let me not sing the song before Facebook try to shut us down. You know they good for that. Um, but while the topic today, the title was "Open Your Damn Mouth," we're not gonna exclude, or we're not gonna say that it's just that simple, it's just that easy. We know pride get in the way. We know that other circumstances may get in the way. We know that your mental health may get in the way. Things like that. So while our title is very much broad and very much in your face, by opening your damn mouth and make it sound easy, we know that that's not always the case. And you know, I think it is important to make sure that you try if you're not able to open your mouth and if you're not able to be vocal about the help that you need, um, to try to work on your signal um your signals. I think Shawn used a very good story earlier when something was wrong and he didn't want to say something was wrong. How he did things around the house to make sure that there's somebody was going to ask him what's wrong with you, or what's going on and things like that, or had that to get his way. Um,
passive aggressive behavior.
yeah, passive aggressive. Um, you know, that was example because there are other signals that are not passive aggressive that you can still signal that you need help with something that you just unvocalize things like that. So yeah, reach out for the help. Try at least, and I'll work on your signaling so that people can know that you need help. It can at least offer that to you when you need it. Um, and I'm not going to put this in your face again in regards to what I need from you guys, my community, my Black MSM community. But I'm going to ask for help again. I need help. I need people to come and have a conversation with me. I have a group that is set already with 4 people that's already ready to go. I wanted to wait off or hold off and add more to that group so that I can have a good amount of data to kind of report back. But I got 4 people that's willing to make this $100. I got 4 people that's ready to make this $100. And the date has not been set. I want to do it between now, Friday. I want to do it before Tuesday. So it's just an opportunity after tonight to hit one of us up and say that you're interested tonight or tomorrow, so that I can get this planned out and get this group set before Tuesday. So again, I got 4 people already ready to make this $100. Um, Not to mention, while you're in the group with me, and when we're finished, I can introduce you to other research studies that we're doing that for you to have a chance to make more money. I have Patrice doing a study right now that you can make up to $1,000. So again, it's money to be made out here. I'm what with you. I have a survey, or try and have a survey that you can take just to take, and you can make about a good $10. That's gas money. Gas right now is $1.99. That's at least $3, $4 in your tank. I mean, that's at least 3 or 4 gallons in your tank. So hit us up. Again, if you need it, if you want it, it's here. We're offering it out. Hit us up, and ready to go. Thank you for joining us. And we'll see you next week. Next week topic is orgasm.
Orgasms. Bust it wide open.
Orgasm. So it's going to be a nice, juicy, hot, nasty conversation next week. And join us. We finna have a nice nasty orgy. So just make sure that y'all share it.
Mm-hmm.
Just make sure you guys share it. Just make sure you guys invite your friends, invite everybody, invite your coworkers. Things like you can invite anybody that you want to invite to come and party
Did
with
you
us.
remind them about testing Saturday?
Oh, Patrice.
Come on now. Getting tested is sexy.
Come on.
Patrice. That's why I need you on this phone.
Y'all already know y'all need to pull up on us on this Saturday, the 19th, from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. for our drive-up HIV testing. I'm telling you.
Come on.
You do not want to miss out on this.
It's going to be fun.
Bring
We're gonna have a blast.
Anybody else that want to know their status, bring them out. Come on now.
Come on,
Johnny, tell these people.
Pull up on us. We dead in the front. Pull up to the front.
I'm going to keep this up for a little minute because I want y'all to understand that we are doing drive-through HIV testing. Again, read this flyer. You can get tested for free. Just pull up. Like, I just need you to pull up on us. We're gonna ask you a couple of questions. We're gonna prick your finger, give you your results, and you can drive through. Also, if you have somebody in the car with you, what I'm asking of you is that you are prepared to get results in that car with those people as well.
Okay.
So if you're not prepared to get your results with those people in the car, do not bring them in the car with you. We don't have the capacity to kind of, separate the car because we want to make sure that we're keeping you safe as well as the staff safe that is conducting the test. And things like that. So, just want to make sure that all of us are trained. If something like that was to come up, or if heaven forbid a positive does come out, each one of us know how to conduct that conversation, that language. And I promise you, we're going to take care of you with the utmost care. We got you. We joke and we play around and we have a good time on this live. This does not reflect how we handle our clients at all.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it does, because we still are very fun with our clients. So I'm not gonna say that we don't, because we're still very fun with it. But we have so much of a caring heart. We want to make sure that we are treating you and getting you right, getting you set up, things like that. On that part, we are definitely about our business. So come out, you get tested, and have a good time. We're gonna have little refreshments. I got the credit card, so I'm gonna have some little refreshments and things like that, for us to, whatever. So it's up to you. Come get tested, and like for y'all that don't know, for the people that don't know, or the people that don't understand this, I just want to tell y'all something. Because you don't know.
One time for the one time.
But you don't know, like, I just want to remind you something, because like it's heavy on my heart, heavy on my mind, and I just feel like you don't know. I just feel like you don't understand the relevance of it.
They don't understand.
No. So what I want to let you know, and what I want to remind you, is that getting tested sexy.
Woo!
Y'all, make that a fucking hashtag. Hashtag getting tested is sexy.
Yes.
Make that a hashtag. Make that a. It's a long hashtag. It's a lot.
I must say, this hashtag getting tested is sexy. I mean, yeah, that's
testing is sexy.
Getting tested is sexy. Hashtag that.
Hashtag that.
Next time you posting a sexy picture of yourself, hashtag getting tested is sexy. Next time you got a picture of you in your drawers and your ass is showing, hashtag this, instead of you hashtagging daddy and sexy this and hashtag this is I'm getting tested as sexy. Hashtag that. I've already did it. You can go to my page and look at it. I've already did it. So I'm
sexual tease.
Very much so. I've already did it. So I'm challenging you guys to hashtag that. Make that a thing. Make that a thing. Getting tested is sexy.
Period.
And
I can't.
We gone.
Yo.